filled with just trauma and exploitation really beyond imagining. And my perpetrators came from all walks of life. There was an engineer, there was a police officer, old men, young men, and really the only thing I think they had in common at all was my grandfather and a really brutal affection for little girls. And so years of trauma, years of abuse,